Blizzard's never-ending greed and Diablo Immortal, the gift that never stops giving.
Hey everyone, so I had another video that I was working on for this week, but the craziest story popped up that I just had to cover. So a few weeks ago, some Diablo Immortal players started noticing an influx of whales. In particular,
no.
in PvP, there was a flood of people coming in with super high resonance, and they were just totally dominating. It's no secret, Immortal is a very pay-to-win game. Whoever spends the most money.
Of course, that's no secret. And that's the only reason why whales want to play Diablo Immortal. It's to destroy the small guys. It's to just absolutely obliterate, erase them from existence. You can't have whales fighting other whales. That's illegal. That should at least be illegal. But honestly, if I was one of those big whales and there was pretty much never anyone who even came close to defeating me, and suddenly just from all directions people like that who could wipe the floor with me started popping off, I would honestly think that this is something that Blizzard is implementing. Bots, essentially, that are always going to be 100% stronger than you, and they are always going to smash you into the ground. So you want to spend more money on the game so you can finally smash all of those other whales into the ground. I would think that that's happening, honestly.
Is going to be the strongest. That is basically how it is. What was notable here, though, was the fact that seemingly out of nowhere, the average resonance or the power of these whales was quickly spiking, which meant either people started spending way more money all of a sudden or something else was going on. The complaints started piling up online, with some people claiming that these were illegitimate whales, especially.
Oh no! People who spend money smarter than me. Oh no! Oh, the horror. Cry harder, you absolute loser.
Since people were noticing there were a lot more third-party sites selling eternal orbs for very cheaply. While there was no way to prove this influx of whales were fake at the time, it has since turned out to be true. This is
Razor,
an
like, come
absolutely
on.
crazy story that just gets crazier the deeper you dig. We've got this pay-to-win phone game, stolen credit cards used to purchase orbs from fraudulent third-party sites, and then Blizzard punishing these players by making it so that they can still access their account but can't play most of the game until they pay off a literal in-game orb debt, the equivalent of which, at least in one case that we know of up to $35,000.
Of course.
It's nuts.
Of course.
It is a crazy story. I'm going to dive into all of the nitty-gritty details, but first, let's get a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by SD Gundam Battle Alliance.
I hate anything and everything Gundam. Fuck off. Gundam suck. Below.
Okay, so here is what's been happening. Like I mentioned a few weeks ago, people were noticing a big influx of players with really, really high power levels, basically. Well, what was taking place was that those Diablo Immortal players had been going to third-party sites to purchase eternal orbs for significantly cheaper than their in-game cost. So currently, a bundle of 7,500 orbs in Diablo Immortal goes for $100 if you buy it through the cash shop. That same 7,500 orbs, for a time at least on some of these third-party sites, was being sold for as low as $10. It looks like
hey, they're just using Blizzard's own strategy. 800% more value. You would be a fool to not buy the orbs for only a fraction of the real cost.
It was averaging like between $30, $40, and $50, but there was a period of time where you could get 7,500 orbs for $10 from these sites. So anyone looking to get orbs for cheap were obviously going to these places. Now you might be asking yourself, how exactly are these sites offering what Blizzard is charging $100 for only $10? It's quite simple, actually.
Let me fill in the gaps. It's stolen. It's most likely 100% stolen, faked, or whatever. It's always stolen. If you see a third-party site that does something like this, it's because they're doing it with stolen credit cards. 100% of the time, it's theft.
Theft. The answer is thievery.
Yeah.
They're stealing. So what these sites will tell customers to help keep their conscience clean is a whole nother story, though. Sometimes they'll say something.
The best part about this is honestly the fact that, yeah, people actually want to be told, even when they know that they... Like, most people, the vast majority of people who bought those orbs for 1/10 of the price knew that it was stolen credit cards and shit like that. But the fact that these people need to be told, oh no, this is gift cards, this is legal, this is like a billionaire just wanting to help people, is absolutely the most insane part, honestly, in my opinion.
Like, oh, it's just regional price differences. So we buy from parts of the world where the orbs are really cheap, or they'll say, and this is a great one, this is the other story that they give. They say, oh gosh, we've got like all these unused gift cards.
Yep.
We just so happened to come across.
These things never change. It's always gift cards, it's always different prices for different regions. By the way, the different prices for different regions is actually real for a lot of games, but I don't think it's real here.
Thousands and thousands of dollars of unused gift cards, and it would be a waste to have them just sit here. How about
also, gift cards by themselves are honestly a scam. Gift cards are literally made with the intent that you put in $50 in them, but the person who uses them is not gonna spend that 50. They're gonna spend like 30, 35, and then the gift card is gonna go bad, expire, or whatever the fuck it does. Essentially, that money will be literally never claimed, that the company just gets to keep free money.
about this? What if I buy orbs for you with them, but I'll only charge you like 1/10 of the price because I'm such a good guy, and we wouldn't want these gift cards to go to waste, right? People believe that. People actually believe that.
People don't
or
believe
they just
that.
don't
They
really
just
think
lie.
about it, or they just don't really
They
care.
lie to
Because what's
themselves.
really happening most of the time is that stolen credit cards are being used either outright or to purchase gift cards that the third-party site will then sell at a reduced rate to buyers, like this example in Diablo Immortal. Now, it should be no surprise to you, credit card theft is a massive industry.
Yep.
Places collect credit card information in many ways.
Okay, one thing I will say about the credit card stealing industry. I understand that credit cards can actually be stolen pretty damn easily. Honestly, the technology is literally there for your credit card to be stolen at almost any time, honestly. But the fact that someone can actually not block their credit... Tide Gap Milk just texted me. But the fact that someone does not instantaneously block their credit card. One time I did lose my wallet and my credit card was gone. The moment I noticed that and I went to the only places that it could be, like not even half an hour passed, and I instantaneously blocked it. I have a credit card and I have 3 accounts on it, and one of those accounts, only one of those accounts, is tied to actually how much money can be siphoned. Well, I actually don't have a credit card. Credit cards are dumb. Only use debit cards at the worst case scenario. And that card is tied to an account that will never actually get filled up unless I fill it up through a account from account a transaction. Even if someone steals my shit, they don't have a lot of money to work with. And plus they can't actually work with it.
Breaching websites where the info is stored, phishing scams that typically target the elderly or just tech illiterate people. Spyware is another common method, but yeah, there are a lot of ways, and the point is stealing credit card information is big business. It happens all the time.
Yeah,
You
it's
probably
huge,
almost
actually.
certainly know someone, or you yourself have been like a victim of it at some point in your life. If you haven't, you probably will be. It's just so commonplace. That credit card information is acquired, and then it is often sold to places like these third-party.
I'm not gonna lie, by the way, this does not look fun. This does not look fun at all.
Sites or to individuals who will use that information to either buy stuff outright, like I said, or to purchase gift cards, and then that puts the transaction one step removed from whatever they then
gift
buy
cards are
with
the
said
easiest
gift
one.
cards. Enter third-party key resellers, gold resellers, or
But the reality is, it's like, if you know... Also, how many of you people don't actually have the thing where it instantaneously sends you a notification when even a cent has been spent from your credit card or from your bank account? I have it. Everyone should have it. And if that happens and you have no idea what's happening, you just call your bank, give them the card number. Well, you don't actually have to give them your card number. You can literally just tell them your information that they will ask, and then they can just block it instantaneously. Plus, they're not gonna fuck around. They're gonna give you your money back. Like, people who actually get sucked in by credit card scams literally just do not know that you can contact banks.
or eternal orb sellers, which is what's happening here. There's also another method they will attribute to why these prices are so absurdly low. Sometimes they'll say it's like a glitch. They'll be like, hey, we found a glitch in your game and it lets us redeem
Yes.
like 1,000 orbs for nothing. So just let me log into your...
This actually does happen in games. I would not be surprised if someone legitimately had found a way to do this. But there are people who legitimately do it. Those are, by the way, very interesting videos. You should probably check them out if you haven't seen them before. But there are people who professionally hack games, and they hack those games to a level that the company does not know that they're hacked. And then they slowly or fastly siphon up money off of that game to sell in real life and do things like that. It is actually a huge business. And everyone who actually does that through a bug never lets that information slip, because that is obviously just an infinite money printing machine if you find one.
Account, and I'll charge only $10 for buying a bundle. But it is mostly lies. Like, sometime glitching can be sold in games, but a lot of the time, if you purchase from any of these sites, you're involved in the industry of credit card theft, basically. You are directly transactioning with that. That's what's happening. And that's exactly what took place here. There were...
Actually, that's illegal, by the way. If you are willingly buying fraudulently acquired goods, you can go to jail for that.
A ton of Diablo Immortal players paying these third-party sites extremely reduced rates for orbs, and then this is how the process works from there. The site will request their username and password, then someone logs into their Diablo Immortal account, uses the stolen credit card or the gift card purchase with a stolen credit card to buy however many bundles of orbs they made an order for. They will then log out and the transaction is complete. Now at that point, the player probably changes their passwords really quick, and then they log into their freshly loaded up account and spend those new orbs on cosmetics, or more likely on crests and materials that they use to get significantly stronger. And that has what has been happening in Diablo Immortal for some time now. And as crazy as that story is, it's also pretty mundane in the world of third-party sellers. Gold sellers have been around.
You can find gold sellers, power sellers, and whatnot for, I think, literally every game now. As soon as a new game launches, someone is gonna try and maximize profitability by botting gold or doing things like that. It's instant. It's a huge market. Like, look at RuneScape, honestly. You have people making their life completely 100% a rich life just because they are good at RuneScape botting and things like that. It's insane.
Around in online games for a very long time. But it gets even more interesting and crazier the further you dig in, and especially once Blizzard steps in. So no doubt Blizzard has been aware of and tracking these transactions for some time. They have a history of dealing with third-party gold sellers in WoW and Diablo, so this isn't exactly like new territory for them. They are very familiar. Well, about 6 days ago, they started cracking down. Any accounts that were flagged for purchasing orbs through these third-party sites had whatever amount of orbs were purchased subtracted from their account, leaving them with a negative eternal orb balance. What's more, though, is that anyone with a negative orb balance cannot participate in most in-game group activities or things relating to trading and gear grinding. So they can't join in,
but they can do PvP.
To a party, they cannot run rifts, they can't do dungeons, and they also can't access the in-game market. In order to gain access to any of this content or these systems again, they have the option of paying off their orb debt, which as of today, at least for one player, is reportedly as high as negative 2,491,000.
Oh my god, this is this is hilarious. This reminds me of a similar situation. I don't remember the game's name, and this happened, like, I heard about it half a year ago or something like that, maybe a little bit further back. But this is essentially what happened. I don't remember the game's name, but one day a normal update happened, and because of this update, there was a bug introduced, a glitch, and people found it. And because of this glitch, you could acquire in-game gear extremely easily and relatively fast. And it was an abuse, obviously. And that game was pay to win. Everyone knew that it was pay to win. So this is essentially happened. For some reason, the company behind the game was extremely slow in fixing the glitch, and a lot of people accumulated and created a lot of wealth, a lot of extremely powerful items. And when the company fixed that glitch, they banned everyone who used it. Oh yeah, the ban hammer was going off like crazy. But you know what was the funny part? They banned the plebs. They banned the people who spent $10, $100 on the game. But the whales who spend thousands of bucks, they got an email. They got an email from the company saying, you have to send us X amount of money or we will ban you in a week because you abused this bug. Oh yeah, the whales didn't get banned. The whales received an email saying that you need to dish out more money to us, otherwise we will ban you. Crazy.
2025. The cost to bring this to zero by purchasing those orb bundles from the in-game shop legitimately is roughly $35,000.
Yeah,
this
fuck
player
it.
would have to spend
Wait, $35,000. That means he roughly only spent 3,500 to get his account to illegitimate statuses like that. That is so good. That is a steal, honestly. That is so good, especially considering the fact, like, let's be real, these accounts 100% are able to participate in PvP because when he showed this part right here, somewhere here, it didn't say that they are excluded from PvP. It said a rift, dungeons, and parties or whatever. Oh my god, Blizzard, you absolute scoundrels.
$5,000 in order to gain access to most of what this game's content is, the markets, the rifts, and doing the dungeons. They can, however, they can still PvP.
Yep.
So any
obviously.
of these players who are running around with negative orb balances, they haven't been outright banned. And there are some cases in which that is the case, but a lot of them have the opportunity to pay off and they can still PvP. And those players are frolicking through the battlegrounds, wreaking havoc on Immortal's, quote, legitimate whales. And boy,
man, fuck those legitimate whales. They're the reason the games are gonna be bad. Every whale who feels bad about themselves should feel bad about themselves, you know? If you spent money on a game, it doesn't mean that you actually deserve anything, you know? Blizzard does not owe you shit. In fact, you owe Blizzard shit. You own them everything because they can maybe ban you because they get tired of you, you know? If you're a whale, fuck you.
oh boy, do those people have a thing or two to say. I've seen numerous Reddit threads popping up complaining about this, like this one. Get these fake whales out of here. The negative orb players are all still running around like they own the server. This is a...
They do own the server. They spent money, but the difference is they spent money smartly. They found the 800% efficiency deal outside of Blizzard servers, and now you're mad? Are you mad because you're losing, or are you mad because they found a better way to spend their money?
Here, the negative orb players are all still running around like they own the server. This is a slap in the face to everyone who legitimately paid for their orbs. They should not be allowed to participate in anything. And
you know what? I actually have a solution for this. Just spend more money. It's simple. Just spend more money. You don't actually have to do anything else. Just spend a little bit more money, or a lot more money.
Till their debt is repaid. Or there's this one. Blizzard negative orb shouldn't be allowed in Battleground. This is disturbing that my server is full of tons of fake whales capped on resonance. They don't even need Elder Rifts or the market anymore, but they can still join Battleground. What kind of soft ban is that? Another interesting thing that's been popping...
Because that's gonna make Blizzard money at the end of the day. That's why they do it. This action is purely driven by greed.
Up as a result of all of this are a whole lot of high-level accounts available for sale. That's right. All of a sudden, people are trying to get rid of their...
Selling semi-veiled DH Demon Hunter 3.1k Rezo 5. I don't know if this is big. How much does it cost though? Interesting.
Decked out high resonance characters for pretty reasonable prices, might I add. Like, hey, it's not too shabby. Also, in other news, there have been reports of players who recently bought accounts that have been getting banned for seemingly no reason at all. What's going on? Could there be...
They actually see, by the way, if you have bought an account, because they see the IP address you're logging in from, you know? If you were logging from France all this time and suddenly magically you're logging in from Canada, yeah, maybe that's a little bit sus, you know? Maybe.
Be any connection. There's a bunch of people ditching their accounts that they bought third-party orbs from that they know they're going to have to deal with this negative balance or get banned, and they're just trying to offload them and make some of their money back. So as insane as all this is, Blizzard has come out to address it, kind of. They spoke to PC Gamer and said, "We have been looking into abnormal Eternal Orb purchases that have been reported among the community and taken action to prevent players from purchasing Eternal Orbs through unofficial channels. Investigations have been made for accounts that have participated in these activities, and disciplinary measures were implemented against accounts that were found to have violated the Blizzard terms of service. We will continue to monitor and take action as needed." And what isn't real?
They will just ban the people who they know outright. I think honestly, you know what Blizzard's gonna do? Someone buys an account, they play a little bit. Blizzard allows them to like play for a couple of days, so they get the feel for it. You know, get them hooked. Because I have no doubt that every action Blizzard is taking with this situation is just profit driven.
Really discussed here is the particular means in which Blizzard is addressing this and how much of a problem it is, how shady it is in and of itself. So I want to highlight this. Like, Blizzard's response to this is the decision to slap players caught buying from these third-party sites with a negative orb balance, forcing them to pay it off in order to fully access their accounts. And it's just, it's nuts, dude. There are so many other routes they could have gone. Like, for example, they could have just put the account balances to 0 instead of implementing this, like, odd debt system that limits gameplay activities.
What's so odd about this? If you put the orbs at 0, then there's no money to be made there. Someone's just gonna get pissed and someone's gonna leave the game. But, you know, if you put them at negative, that means that, oof, options.
Although that wouldn't really be much of a punishment, right? Like, that wouldn't really be reprimanding them for what they did if they just put the account to 0. So, I don't know. What about removing whatever was purchased with orbs? Blizzard can clearly see that these orbs are being bought, and then they can see what those were spent on. So, theoretically, they could remove it. It does get more complicated once you throw legendary crests and the rift system into the equation. So, they buy these orbs illegally. They use those orbs to purchase crest, and then they take those crests into rift runs to empower them to give them better gear drops, and then the gear drop they do with whatever from that point going forward, putting it into other systems, breaking it down, melding it, whatever. It is more complicated, but Blizzard certainly has track records of all of this. If nothing else, they could even just revert accounts back to prior to the illicit purchases. They could have done that as well. Or,
by the way, I think that's honestly the most simplest of things, but again, it doesn't make money, so not really an option.
Finally, they could just ban the accounts, right? Like, just get rid of them altogether. You know what they're doing. You know they're buying from these third-party sites. You know all of the issues associated with that. Get rid of the accounts. Get rid of their characters, everything they spent, whatever. Screw it. Get rid of it. But they're not doing that. Instead, they're doing this craziness. They're giving players the chance, basically, to buy their way back into Blizzard's good graces. And that is just, like, the epitome of everything wrong with Blizzard today. Honestly,
love that, honestly.
I mean, they know what these sites are. They know how they function. They know that most of these transactions are done with stolen credit cards because they're the ones who get hit with the chargebacks. They are well aware of this whole market and what takes place within it. So instead of banning people, they are dangling a carrot on a stick. They are letting them drop thousands of dollars, upwards of $35,000 in that.
So the thing about this is that in these situations, it's your account. You usually don't want to make a second account. So if you can salvage your old account, that's what most people are trying to do. That's what most people want to do. So obviously a lot of people are going to try and salvage their accounts. Not everyone wants to just make a new account because that's kind of lame and a lot of people don't do it. It's like when you write in an incorrect letter when writing your password, usually 80% of people delete the whole password and start over again.
Case of that one player to keep their characters, which you can bet some people are absolutely going to do. Like, if they've already dropped thousands into the game, they are much more likely to spend money to maintain that character. This is like peak sunk cost fallacy in action, plain view. And Blizzard is taking advantage of it. In fact, they're looking to scrape some money off the top of it as well. Blizzard, you just need to ban all of the accounts. Plain and simple. I
Good
don't know.
times.
Like, this debt system is ridiculous. This fact that you're dangling these players' characters over their heads, where you know if they broke TOS and you're saying they broke TOS, forget this whole negative.
If you play Diablo Immortal, I honestly don't think you deserve anything more than that. Pure and simple. I don't like you. You deserve shit because you promote shit. You are shit.
Account balancing. Get rid of the accounts. If they want to play again, you know, they want to spend more money in your shop again, whatever. That will probably happen, right? But this system, they're saying, hey, I know you spent all this money, you could get it back, you could do all the activities. But then also, as much as part of it is like kind of funny that we've got all of these whales in this pay-to-win game complaining about all these fake whales ruining their whaling experience, as much as I do get a kind of a bit of a chuckle out of that, it's also ultimately
irony.
like crummy, right? Like, people have Blizzard, the people who are legitimate whales, who have given you thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, their experience is getting ruined by these.
Who fucking cares? That's the reality of this situation. Blizzard wants to keep the whales, but that doesn't mean that they want to make it easy for the whales. That doesn't mean that they want to make it a good experience for the whales. If you are a whale, that means they want to keep you around, but for all the wrong reasons.
People as well. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but if you're going to be catering to anyone, it should be the legitimate whales, at least. I don't know.
I think
like
making
I said, this
a
whole
good game is actually a little bit more important.
story, it's just nuts. It is a crazy, crazy thing. Might do a follow-up on it as well. This video was put together a little quicker than I typically do, but I hope it was still interesting for you, if nothing else. It's a good story. It's something.
That's great.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you, as always, for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you.
Subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye, boys.